and all the emails, everything, text messages. I gave them everything. And they disputed it with the company, and the company still was being a bother. So I think my credit card company is suing them currently. So we'll see how that goes. But they did, the credit card company gave me my money back, and they're fighting it. Yeah, it's, you know, they had the right address. I don't know if they just gave me the wrong tracking number. It's okay. But, you know, even after, it's been almost a year ago, a year and a half maybe, and it still hasn't shown up, so I don't expect it to now. So I don't know. I will never, ever, ever order from them ever again. Never again. So there's 2, 4, 5. This is row 7.
Pokemon community game. A wild Silcoon appears, catch it using
Silicone, it's like a little cocoon. Hang on a second and I'll tell you more about it. SAL. Silicone, it is a bug type. There we go. I'll give it a shot too. I'll give it a whirl. Give it a whirl. I was surprised how many Pokemon showed up yesterday that I did not have in my collection. I'm like, wow, how is this not in my collection already? But once I click on that Pokedex, I can see I'm still missing quite a few. Okay, now I just bind off all. So I'm just slipping, knitting together, putting them back on, knitting together. As long as I'm consistent, it doesn't matter what bind off I use. I could knit it and pass this over. It's the same as what I'm doing. Woo! Mary, you got a rock. Nice. Congrats also to Nabs and Mirror. Nabs sneaking in there. I see you. I see you, boo. I see you. I got one eye open. Ad break. Oh gosh. Horrible timing for an ad break. As per usual. I guess it makes it tea time. Just might be tea time. Finish this last one. Snip the yarn off. Pull it out. There you go, half a tail. Just might be the cheese balls. All right.
The ad break is finishing now.
Welcome back from the ad break. I just cast it on for I did a crochet cast on if you're watching. It's It's my favorite. It gives a nice edge. You have a little bit of stretchiness to it, but not a whole lot. I don't do it if I'm casting on for socks. I prefer the Wiggy Waggy. Is that what it's called? Wiggy Waggy? I think that's what it's called, the Wiggy Waggy cast on. Because it gives it really a lot of stretch. But this pattern, it's not going to matter what cast on or bind off you use. Okay, I'm going to wrap this yarn around. Two, four. I'm gonna do the wrap, but I'm gonna put that marker on there first. Finish it, turn. Back. Now I do that back and forth thing again. It's all knit. Super easy. Super duper easy. To the marker. We've even done this pattern with straight needles. Works just as well. I'm currently working with US 5s. I believe the pattern called for US 7s. Right there, let me double check. Gauge, abbreviations, materials. Yes, it calls for US 7. I've been doing 5s for the DK weight yarn, and I've been using the 7 when I do worsted weight. Pattern does call for worsted weight. And I did US 3 when I did the one in the sock with the sock yarn. But made a super cute chicken. Super cute chicken.
Mirror stepper. I did it. I placed the order for the TSNKS and Tunics book on thriftbooks.com.
Ooh, very nice. I'm glad they had it. I love that book. I so love that book. I have made a lot of them. I could. Maybe I'll go through my collection of tanks and tunics and pull out all the ones from that book. I'm glad you found it in thrift books. That's great.
So hopefully soon we can get together and work on some stuff.
Most definitely. Be happy to hang out in Discord with you.
Mirror stepper.
Wow, and it's only $13 there. Very nice. Yeah, I just looked it up. Knitted Tanks and Tunics by Angela Hahn. It's a great book. I still have marked several that I plan to still do. It's a great book. I like it. If you go to the thriftbooks.com, that's there in the chat. It's listed right now for $13.09. See? $13.09. I have it. Very nice. Very nice find. Why am I yawning now? I have no idea.
Mirror stepper. Yang get that book is sock spoken knitting for full figure women in a sewing book about customizing patterns to fit your body for 32 including free shipping.
Wow, very nice. Sounds like you got a few good finds. That's awesome. I don't remember how much I paid for the book. I don't remember. It's been about 4 years ago I bought it. If I remember correctly, my husband could probably look it up and correct me, I'm sure.
Mary's fiber creation. All the silliness made you tired.
I'm silly a lot of the time. I just hold back. I don't know why. I yawn a lot. Think it's 2025 new? Quite possibly. Most books seem to be in that, pattern books seem to be in that range. It's $24.95. Brand new $24.95. That's US. It's probably 33 something, 34 something Canadian. Husband was supposed to do some painting at work today, but don't think it's going to happen if it's still wet. Oh, I hear a robin in my front yard. Wrap and turn. I gotta figure out a good time to charge this watch too. I turned off a lot of the things, but I don't know. Waiting for it to charge while I shower is not long enough for it to charge up.
Streamer per month. Support your favorite streamer even if it isn't me.
So I turned off a lot of the notifications and all the extra doodad and stuff's in it. I was surprised it even has a calculator. It's like when I go to calculate this yarn, because I keep track of how many yards and ounces and stuff that I've been using. So go to my yarn label. It shows this has 426 yards in this skein. So I'm taking 426. I'm gonna divide it by 5.3 equals. That tells me it has pencil 80.38 yards per ounce. So when I weigh out this chicken, when it's complete, oops, watch turned off, that's fine. So when it's complete, I will know weigh the chicken out, and how many ever ounces that is, multiply that by the 80.38 will tell me how many yards that I've used by the ounces that I've weighed out. Is it 100% accurate? No. Close enough for what it's for? Yes. Because a lot of times this yarn isn't going to weigh out to exactly what it says it is. I have another skein, another cake of it right here. I have another cake of it. So if we were to weigh this out, I bet it doesn't weigh 5.3 ounces. A lot of times they don't. A lot of times they're either more or slightly less. Get this on screen. 0. Nothing touching. 5.7. So see, this one weighs more. Does that mean there's more yards in there? Maybe. Maybe a couple. Now how accurate the labels are, who knows? The only way to really know would be to measure it out myself. You know, like measure out 5 yards, say, and weigh that 5 yards, divide it out. That'll also tell you. I'll leave that there in case we need it again. This Marcactus is a grass type. I already have 2 of them.
Mary's Fiber Creations. Quoc catch friend ball.
Grass type. I need to miss some ghost type. Today's the last day for me. Unless I were to hang out in somebody else's stream that also plays the PCG. I still need to miss 3 ghost. I caught the 2 I was supposed to miss, but I don't think they're putting enough ghost type out for the missions. It just feels wrong, man. It just feels wrong. Timer ball if you have it. 10 seconds left to play timer ball. Three, 2, 1. Meep. Time's up. Bluey caught it. Sorry, everybody. Congrats, Bluey. I didn't need another cactus. Be fun to make more of those, though. Yay! Turn. This whole chicken is practically short rows. Lady Cricket Bug, hello, hello.
I'm so far behind in missions.
Oh.
3 ghost 10 catches and 7 kilograms catches. My trades will be done by end of stream if I remember to do it.
Yeah, I got everything except missing the 3 ghosts. I am well. I am well. My knees were feeling a little better today. My right knee feels a lot better. My left knee still, I don't know. I don't know about the left knee. Maybe because I laid on that side is why it still hurts, quite perhaps. I have problems. I can't lay on my back. It's so uncomfortable. Because my back doesn't lay flat without my legs being up. So, I don't know. I get uncomfortable, so I end up on my side. And then even with the knee pillow, just all the pressure on that knee just makes it hurt. Yeah.
I am cleaning off my top shelf in the
Ooh.
can put some fabric up there once I clear it off.
What are you going to do with all the stuff you're taking off of the shelf, though? Yeah, my husband made the comment, if you bought more yarn, you think I would really notice? Like, probably not. Probably would not even notice it in my room. But more than likely, you probably could, because it'd be the ones that are still in the bag. Trashing most of it.
Trashing most of it. Lady Cricket Bug. I'm gonna drop you alert, lovely.
Okay, thank you so much. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Yes. Okay, gotcha. Makes sense. It's like I had a whole box of pens and pencils. They've been sitting for so long. All that ink is probably dried up anyway. So I had a piece of paper I kept. Okay, if it made a line, it stayed. If it didn't make a line, it went out. Thank you for the check-in. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm trying to collect magazines that I already have copies of. I want a second copy so that I'm able to use some of the pictures. Let me show you. I mean, I have... Some of these are duplicates. Crochet Home, not around anymore. That's been gone for a long time. But duplicate copy, I can go through and, you know, cut things out. Use the words out of here, whatever. That's a cute Afghan, though. Even the ads, I can cut things out. You know, who knows? I got a little stack here. Yeah, I say little stack. But I did make this basket. Some of these flowers that are in this issue, this doesn't exactly have, it just has a number on it. It doesn't tell you. See, it came from somebody else. I do have this copy. This is one of the first copies I got because, see, February, March of 92. I made a lot of these flowers that were part of my actual bouquet. And I used some of these, I made some of these flowers too that went on to like reserve pews for my guests. So I can cut this, you know, this little basket of flowers out and use that. See, it's not only on the cover, but it's back here, basket of flowers. I didn't use it as a basket. I made the flowers and they were part of my wedding bouquet. I've made those bunnies too. And I've made that sampler blanket. I made something similar. I have not done those. But, you know, I can cut these magazines up and use the pictures, use the words, whatever. Look at that one. Love that Afghan. Yeah, now these are extra magazines. These are no longer in publication. Cats. So a lot of these, I made that one too. Only I used larger crochet cotton, and it goes on a table that's outside on my front patio. That goes on there. Still today. It's a little sun bleached, but it's alright. I don't care. So does 4. See? Got 2 issues. Oh no, that's the first one we started with. Number 26. That other one was number 27. 61, 53, 57. I could sit here and go them in order. 46, 50, 59, 67, 66, 60, 62, 54, that's 53, 54, 50, 52, 58 goes here. Got that in the wrong order. 59, 60, 48, 46, 48, 65. I thought I saw a 66. Maybe not. 64. There, I got them in order. All organized. Oops, there's one more down here. Or 2. 3. Oh, this is Crochet Newsletter. That's different. I like that one too. Hooked on Crochet. Gosh. Number 10. Number 10. Let's see if there's a date. July, August of 1998. 1988. There. 1988. Can you imagine? No color on the pages. Little boy blue. Dainty pink. See, these I can just use these color pages and still have all the patterns if I want. Crochet babies. So those are a little different. I don't think I have. See if this one has any dates. Editor, director. Copyright 1993. House of White Birches. I don't think House of White Birches is around anymore, are they? I don't know. I do have a lot of stuff that was House of White Birches. They also did the Vanna's book. Neighbors. Okay, well, I still have the right number of stitches. I just knit 3 rows.
Mirrors vacuum my mattress.
Ooh.